Welcome to Kleppers Corner, Today in History, the show where we learn that time may heal all wounds, but it also keeps receipts. October 10th is one of those dates where the universe went, let's see how many historical genres we can cram into 24 hours. We've got martyrdoms, moon discoveries, revolutions, resignations, and the occasional telegraphed explosion. It's like binge watching every season of humanity at once. This isn't just a date, it's a vibe. October 10th is when empires fell, oceans met, and someone always, somehow, managed to blow up something important. So grab your historical popcorn. Verdi's conducting, Wells is filming, and Spiro Agnew's already calling his lawyer. Segment 1, the crucible of empires and faith. Let's start in 19 AD, the Roman Empire, where leadership turnover meant poison, not polling. Germanicus, Rome's golden boy, dies mysteriously, claiming he was poisoned by a jealous rival. It's basically Succession, but with more togas and fewer NDAs. The public mourned, senators schemed, and Emperor Tiberius played innocent, the ancient Roman version of thoughts and prayers to the family I definitely didn't order murdered. Fast forward to 680 AD, the Battle of Karbala. Hussein ibn Ali, grandson of the Prophet Muhammad, makes a last stand that changes Islam forever. Surrounded, outnumbered, and dehydrated, Hussein chooses principle over survival, the kind of conviction that makes modern politicians physically ill. His death split Islam into Sunni and Shia branches, a religious schism still shaping global politics. October 10th, where one man's martyrdom rewrote theology, while Rome's poison party rewrote family dinner invitations. And in 732 AD, Charles Martel stops an Umayyad army near Tours, an event later mythologized as saving Christendom. Historians now say it was probably just a well-timed raid defense. So basically, Europe's destiny hinged on a really good Tuesday for one guy with a hammer. This date became a recurring pop quiz for civilization. How much blood, faith, and ego can you fit into one calendar square? Spoiler, a lot. Segment 2, the age of creation, discovery, and revolution. Jump to 1813, when baby Giuseppe Verdi entered the world. The man who turned opera into political protest and heartbreak into melody. His Va Pensiero chorus became Italy's unofficial anthem, and Viva Verdi doubled as code for unification. Imagine being so famous your last name becomes an acronym for regime change. That's like if people chanted, "Make America Trump again." Wait, bad example. Then in 1846, William Lassell, a brewer with a telescope, discovered Triton, Neptune's biggest moon. That's right, a guy making beer found a moon, which makes sense. You'd need to be drunk to stare that long at Uranus. Triton orbits backward, proving even moons can be rebellious teenagers. Just a year earlier, in 1845, the U.S. Naval Academy was founded, a sign that America wanted to rule not just land, but oceans too. So in consecutive Octobers, humans established a naval school to conquer seas and the moon to conquer space, the 19th century equivalent of Air Force Academy meets SpaceX. October 10th was clearly when humanity looked up and said, we could go further. Right before someone else shouted, we could go faster if we had a cannon. Segment 3, a world remade by engineering and ideology. 1911, Wuchang, China. Revolutionaries accidentally detonate their own bomb, blowing their cover and starting the Xinhai Revolution. Yes, the dynasty that ruled for 2,000 years fell because someone had butterfingers with TNT. Nothing says mandate of heaven revoked like your rebellion starting early because the fuse was too short. By dawn, the Qing dynasty was collapsing. Provinces were seceding, and Sun Yat-sen got a government whether he was ready or not. Today, Taiwan celebrates this as National Day, proof that even history's biggest revolutions can start with, my bad. 2 years later, 1913. President Woodrow Wilson pressed a telegraph button in Washington that set off dynamite in Panama, blowing up the last dike and joining the Atlantic and Pacific. It was the first long-distance power trip in American history, the original remote detonation of democracy. Sure, 27,000 workers died building it, but Wilson got to press a button and feel like a Bond villain with good lighting. The Panama Canal wasn't just an engineering marvel. It was globalization with a bang. So, in the span of 2 Octobers, one guy's accidental explosion ended an empire, and another guy's planned explosion united 2 oceans. October 10th, where pushing buttons and blowing things up is practically tradition. Segment 4, the atomic age, the Cold War, and the cosmos. 1941, Soviet forces halt the Nazi advance on Moscow. Hitler's army meets Russian winter and realizes Mother Nature doesn't negotiate. It's the day fascism caught frostbite. Jump to 1954. Ho Chi Minh enters Hanoi after French troops withdraw. The end of one colonial war, the start of another. The French left Vietnam, but America said, "Hold my napalm." In 1964, Japan hosts the Tokyo Olympics, using sports to rebrand from imperial aggressor to technological marvel. The final torchbearer, a man born the day Hiroshima was bombed. Talk about symbolism. That's how you turn trauma into torchlight. And thanks to satellites, the games became the first global TV event. Humanity finally watched itself compete and cheat in real time. Then, in 1967, the Outer Space Treaty kicked in, banning nukes in orbit and declaring the cosmos a province of all mankind. Because if there's one place we shouldn't ruin, it's the one we haven't reached yet. The US and USSR signed it, basically saying, we'll threaten each other on Earth, but Mars is chill. It's comforting that amid the Cold War, we managed to agree on not weaponizing the moon. Though, if Elon Musk had been alive then, he'd probably have called it Moon Force 1. Segment 5, Scandal, Culture, and the End of a Century. 1973, Spiro Agnew, America's second most powerful man, resigns in disgrace for taking bribes. He goes from law and order crusader to law and order defendant. Agnew once called the press nattering nabobs of negativism. Turns out he was a babbling baron of bribery. He pleaded no contest, paid 10 grand, and got 3 years probation. Basically, America's elite version of go to your room. And exactly 12 years later, in 1985, Orson Welles, the opposite of a sellout, dies. The man who made Citizen Kane at 24 and spent the rest of his life arguing with studios. Welles fought for art the way Agnew fought indictments. He created War of the Worlds, panicked a nation, then spent decades proving genius and unemployment aren't mutually exclusive. On that same day, U.S. fighter jets forced down a plane carrying the hijackers of the Achille Lauro cruise ship. So, yes, October 10th was also the day America literally stopped terrorism midair. Somewhere between Agnew's plea deal and Wells's legacy, history said, politics corrupts, but art endures. Segment 6, a new millennium of challenges. 2002, Congress authorizes war in Iraq. They didn't find WMDS, but they did find endless sequels. It's the kind of prequel George Lucas would have written. Lots of desert scenes and no clear ending. 2010, the Netherlands Antilles dissolves. Some islands become independent nations. Others stay Dutch. It's like a breakup where everyone keeps joint custody of the ocean. 2015, a terrorist bombing kills 109 at a peace rally in Ankara. Humanity, once again, proves it can't resist irony. And in 2018, Hurricane Michael hits Florida as a Category 5 monster. Scientists blame climate change. Politicians blame the scientists. The damage was catastrophic, proving once again that Mother Nature doesn't care about polling data. In conclusion, the unbroken threads of a single day. October 10th is humanity's highlight reel, a day where martyrs died, empires crumbled, oceans connected, and satellites told us we were all watching the same train wreck together. From Karbala's faith to Panama's dynamite, from Verdi's operas to Agnew's courtroom opera, this date reminds us that progress and disaster often share the same birthday. So as we close the book on October 10th, remember, history doesn't just repeat. It loves a good callback. And if you ever feel like your week's a mess, just remember, one day in 1911, someone literally blew up a revolution by accident and changed the world. This has been Kleppers Corner. Today in history, where the past isn't dead, it's just waiting for the punchline.